And there we go. Hey, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having brilliant, fantastic, amazing days. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be discussing what account size is it that you should be going for when it comes down to prop firm challenges. Prop firm accounts, whether it's with FTMO, my forex funds, the funded trader, the prop trading, whatever prop firm it is that you decide to go with. Okay, of course, do your research. And I've got a few other videos about that as well. When it comes down to it, which account size should you be going for? Okay, should you get a 10K, a 25K, a 50K, 100K, 200K? Some prop firms have 400K, 500K. We're going to have prop firms in the future, I'm sure, coming out with, million dollar account sizes. But what account size should you be going for? Okay. And for me, it boils down to 3 points. And it boils down to these points because, of course, you want to get them across the line. You want to pass them. Of course, naturally, everyone's going to want as much funding as they can. Okay, but I think, three of these different factors are going to affect how successfully you're going to be able to get across the challenge and also how effectively you're going to be able to perform on the live account. So for me, these are the three reasons that I would say, and three reasons that I would think that you should go through before you buy a challenge to figure out if that challenge is going to be the right one for you. So before you buy a challenge, for me, these are the three things that you should go through first. So first, what level are you at psychologically? Okay, and what I mean by that is what account sizes have you been trading on demo accounts before? Okay, have you been trading really, really small accounts before? If you've got your own personal funds at, $100, $200, are you going to be suited to then, scale that up and jump onto a $200 or a $400,000 account size? You're probably not, because you haven't tested, you haven't practiced on an account size of that magnitude. Now, whilst your percentage risk might be the same, the lot sizes are very different. And if you're trading on your phone, watching the numbers jump up and down that aggressively, that quickly on a large account size can become very much overwhelming. So I would say, what level you're at psychologically. If you have been trading a £500 account or dollars account, $1,000 or pounds, 2,000, 3,000, perhaps test out with a 10K challenge first, okay, or a 25K challenge first, one of the smaller ones. Not only because it's significantly less in terms of challenge fee. From my memory, $10,000 account size on my forex funds is under $100. So it's a lot more affordable. But not only that, if you're jumping onto a $200,000 or $400,000 account, you're paying a lot more. You're paying $1,000 plus, but that you're not going to be used to it psychologically. Okay, and watching the numbers move up and down that quickly, on an account size of that magnitude is not going to be leading to towards the best success. So I would say if you've been testing time and time again on a $100,000, $200,000, $400,000 account, sure, by all means, go for a challenge of that magnitude. But if you haven't tested out a 10 or a 25 first, going back and starting again would start out with small challenges because, of course, it's psychologically a lot easier to manage. The second thing that I've written down is what account size can you afford? Okay, of course, these challenges cost money because to prove yourself, to get that live funding, to get the ability to, trade an account size of that size and actually withdraw from it, you have to pay for it. You've got instant funding models. You've also got challenge models. Some of the other prop firms have got slightly different models as well, but the main one, the market leading one, is the evaluation or the instant funding. So the evaluation, of course, you're looking at setting back, $500 for an 100K account, okay, or $850 or $900 for a $200,000 account. So that's quite a lot of money. That, of course, most people looking to get funding don't have that level of funds to be able to afford to put into their own account. So they're looking to scale up, the amount of capital they have. And $800, $900 for a lot of people at their beginning starting of, building up their capital and building up their account sizes with prop firms is a lot of money. So what I would say is if you can't afford to buy the challenge twice over, don't do it. Okay, because you're only going to put yourself under too much pressure, too much stress, and you're probably not going to be able to pass the challenge if you're under that sort of mental magnitude of you have to get it across the line. So I would say if you can't afford to buy it twice over, as a general rule of thumb, don't do it. Okay, but of course, this completely varies. Don't use up all of your savings to go and buy a challenge account because you want to have a life-changing different experience. It's a slow process as well. Okay, because of course you've got to remember that it takes time to get across stage one. It takes time to get across stage two. Then you have to do a full month's worth of trading to get your challenge fee back and your first month's profit. So it is a long process. Once you're there, it's huge. It's a great opportunity, and that's why, of course, I'm in this space. But I would say if you can't afford to buy it twice over, drop down to a slightly lower account size, okay? Because of course that's going to help you, build some momentum and actually get some capital and actually get a return on your investment, and then use profits to invest into a bigger account in the future. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is, what targets do you actually have personally for how much, monetary return you want to make? Okay. Now, of course, everyone has got huge ambitions. They want to make as much money as they can. Okay. But I'm talking about a realistic expectation of, do you need 2K a month, 5K a month, 10K a month to actually live the lifestyle that you live currently, but perhaps cut down on your hours at work? Okay, perhaps give you a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more freedom. So for instance, when people join the FXLondon 6-figure program, I ask them, how much are you making each month from work and any other side hustles? Okay, and how much would you want to realistically be making from trading? Okay, so that you could cut down on some hours at work, or you could have this as a serious side hustle and hobby, and it can provide you a little bit of extra freedom in life and a few extra luxuries. Okay, but nothing unrealistic, nothing extravagant. For most people, that sits in the range of between 2 and 5K per month. Okay, and for some people, that's sitting at 8 to 12K per month. Okay, but very few people need much more than that. So ultimately, what I would say is, what are your targets? What are your percentage goal targets that you need to be making? Because of course, depending on the account, the percentage increase is going to be very different in terms of monetary reward. So what I mean by that is, for instance, 1% on a 100K account is $1,000. Okay, but 1% on a $200,000 account is $2,000. Okay, and on a $400,000 account, 1% is $4,000. So you see what I mean? You might be taking the same trades, the same level of risk, but on different account sizes, you're going to be achieving very much different returns. Okay, so on your your 500 K account versus your 400K versus your 200K, 100K, 50K account, all of the returns are going to be very, very different. So, 1% on your $50,000 account is $500. So you need to be making a lot more trades and a lot more, percentage gain on a $50,000 account than you do need to on a $200,000 account. So ultimately, it's just something to think about. What are your monetary goals and how does that equate back to percentage gain on any of the given account sizes? But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's been informative. Hopefully it's helped you think a little bit about what, account size, what challenge you should be going for. And, for me, it just boils down to those 3 points. What level are you at psychologically? Can you mentally cope with that much, drawdown, that much, profit? Can you actually cope with the numbers flicking up and down that quickly? And then moving on is, what account size can you afford? Realistically, if you can't afford an account size, twice or 3 times over, you're probably overstretching and pushing yourself too much. Okay, and as a result, it's going to be too much of a mental barrier, too much of a mental block, and you're going to put yourself in a situation where you have to succeed. You have to achieve, 10% within the given month, and it's going to put yourself under pressure to get that money back as quick as you can. And from my own experience, from what I've seen within my own community, no one performs as well under that sort of level of pressure as they would do if they, dropped down an account size and didn't rely on the money coming back as quick as they needed to. The next point is, of course, what are your targets in terms of monetary, return, and how does that equate back to percentage gain on the accounts? Because each account size is very, very different. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. As always, all of the community links are down below. My personal profiles are down below as well, for LinkedIn, for Telegram, the Facebook community group chat, the Discord, the Telegram community group chat, all the links are down below. And if you want to book a call with me as well, that will be somewhere in my about section or in the description below as well. But otherwise, speak with you soon. See you in the next video, and bye for now.